Recently, this phrase may have come up on your radar. Bossa Nova. But what exactly is it? Where did it come from, and how is it different from other music? Well, it's best that you learn all of this sooner rather than later, because this genre is only growing in popularity, and it's growing much faster than you think. The word bossa originated in Brazil as old-fashioned slang for something done with particular charm. This word, charm, is one of many, along with relaxed, calm, and smooth, that began to define the genre and continue to be used to shape its transformation through the way that we see it today. Bossa Nova is defined as a relaxed style of samba that was developed back in the early 50s and 60s, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. The phrase Bossa Nova itself literally means new wave or new trend when translated into English from Portuguese. In the 50s, the phrase was used to describe music that was played with unusual habits, or in other words, different than the norm. This was pointed out by Brazilian author Rui Castro, known for many of his writings regarding bossa nova and its early days. Often seen in bossa nova are the classical guitar as well as the drums and percussion. The classical guitar, often accompanied with vocals, usually plays the underlying rhythm. In bossa nova, the guitar is often played with fingers rather than using a pick. A name that I came across many times while researching more about bossa nova was João Gilberto, who many claim to be the inventor of bossa nova itself. Gilberto was and is a musical legend. His most popular tracks were released in the latter part of the 50s throughout the 60s. His contribution did not only end in this style of guitar, but also his vocal style and the rhythm he sang with when he played. In an article by NPR after his passing in 2019, they reported that his style he crafted, the soft, quiet voice and the relaxed guitar, originated from him playing in the bathroom of his sister's house, so as not to disturb the family and to take advantage of the acoustics from the tiles on the bathroom floor. He would go on to create many popular tracks and albums, but arguably the most popular of them that he had a hand in creating is one that you may recognize.
30 anos depois, João e Antônio se reencontram, recordam Vinícius e recriam a Garota de Ipanema tal como era apresentada no encontro histórico.
The Girl from Ipanema, the second most recorded song in history, had its vocals brought to it after the jazz guitarist Charlie Byrd visited Brazil while on a tour by the US State Department. While in Rio de Janeiro, he collected albums of this new genre, bossa nova, to bring to the States. Stan Getz, an extremely popular saxophonist at the time, stopped by the Seabird after being sent an invite by Bird. Stan quickly fell in love with this style of music, and shortly after, he invited João Gilberto, one of his favorite musicians that he had learned about from Bird, to the States. His goal? To record an album with Gilberto. This album would be called Getz/Gilberto. While recording, Getz, along with the writers Vinicius de Moraes and Tom Jobim, learned that Gilberto's wife, Astrid Gilberto, could speak English. Knowing this prompted Getz to ask her to provide the vocals for The Girl from Ipanema, while her husband provided the vocals in Portuguese. But nothing could have prepared them for what was to come. The song was a global hit, and went on to win the 1965 Grammy for Record of the Year, while their album, Getz Gilberto, subsequently won Album of the Year. In 1965, Frank Sinatra covered the song in his collaboration album with Carlos Jobim. Even to this day, The Girl from Ipanema still represents Brazil as a huge part of their bossa nova history, as it was played representing Brazil in the 2016 Olympics. These artists continued to lay the groundwork for the artists that would follow. Jumping a bit forward to the present day, I'm guessing many of you watching this video have probably heard of the name Laufey.
Performing Goddess. Her album, A Matter of Time, comes out August 22nd, here with the song Tough Luck. Please welcome Grammy winner, Laufey.
Laufey. That's the more English one, and then in true Icelandic form, it's Laufey.
The Icelandic Chinese singer-songwriter who rose in popularity in May of 2023 when she dropped her single From the Start. From the Start is bossa nova and jazz pop, described by the UK music publication Dork as a playful mix of old sounds with modern lyrics. This description embodies much of what Laufey creates, as she has recounted some of her inspiration from her childhood in interviews and live streams. Much of this inspiration is very familiar to us.
I love Brazilian music and bossa nova, and Astrid Gilberto has become a big favorite of mine.
Her mother being a violinist and father loving jazz, playing it throughout the house often when she was a child, only added to her wide array and library of musical knowledge as she started practicing jazz at a young age.
I formally started taking piano lessons when I was 4 and cello lessons when I was 8. My father loved playing jazz music in the house, so when I became a bit older I started singing, and I immediately drifted towards singing the songs that Ella Fitzgerald was singing and the songs that Chet Baker was singing.
She grew a following of around 10,000 on Instagram as she began to post her playing music online when she was at the University of Berkeley. This is also where she said that she grew the confidence to begin to create her own music, being a classical cellist, jazz singer, and also a lover of pop music. After her release of From the Start, Laufey's musical career skyrocketed, leading to her recent sold-out tour, which included the Hollywood Bowl in Los Angeles, California, holding somewhere over 17,000 people. This concert was also recorded on IMAX and screened in theaters worldwide. Another artist who recently started making a name for themselves is Semones. I actually discovered Semones for the first time when another artist, Liana Flores, a bossa nova artist with Brazilian roots, liked something that she posted on Instagram.
This is a special place.
She recently released her debut album, Ipanema, which, let me just say, is amazing. In an interview with Blood Makes Noise, Semones spoke about how she draws inspiration from Gilberto, John Coltrane, Wes Montgomery, The Smashing Pumpkins, and Nirvana, with some folk sprinkled in. If you have ever listened to any of these groups before, you can definitely hear the inspirations in her music in all of the best ways. Semones and John Roseborough, another artist who plays music described as post-bossa nova, covered a song titled Waters of March, composed by Antonio Carlos Jobim and sang by Elis Regina and Tom Jobim. The whole song itself reflects its atmosphere in which it was created in, March being the rainiest month in Rio de Janeiro, and the song itself having a constant downward progression, like the rain in the gutters flowing outside onto the streets. Despite this, it is very much a happy song. The song is centered around water being like the promise of life. It really is a beautiful song, and I highly recommend you all give it a listen, both the original and the Semones and Roseborough cover. As is probably evident by now, bossa nova is not going anywhere. If anything, it is more popular now than ever before, all while the artists pursuing this genre show respect to its roots. I think it's pretty safe to say that if you're a fan of this type of music, then you have a lot to look forward to. Thanks so much for watching this video. I was inspired to make this after going to a Semones show in Atlanta. Hearing all of the similar flows, progressions, and instruments from all of these songs in the past live was so incredible. If you want more videos like this one, feel free to subscribe and share this with a friend. Also, leaving a comment to let me know what you thought is seriously helpful, and it's the best way for me to know how I can keep improving. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.